Tak, mně se právě líbí, jak ty vole všichni točí videa, ty vole, jakože to je strašně úplně špatná hra, ale přitom vlastně výsledku vůbec špatná není, jo. Prostě vůbec špatná ta hra není. A akorát přemýšlím, co zapnout. Nové hry 2025, to je zgola remaster, piče.
A co vaše slabé stránky?
Zapomíná svačinku.
Babi.
Jen papi.
Babičky doporučují ryso. Svačinku od Millera, co skvěle chutná.
Dopřejte si ryso s ovocem, čokoládou a teď i s tím vaším proteinem.
Vylepšili jsme vám tarify. Využijte teď svoje data v tabletu, abyste mohli tvořit, studovat nebo podnikat kdykoliv a kdekoliv.
A tady.
Duben se ponese ve znamení návratu. Můžete se těšit na plížení, pokládání pastí, odlákávání pozornosti. Minimálně však zaujalo hutnou Lovecraftovskou atmosféru jednostopnému výkonu či kvality i s plnou podporou na PC a PS5. A pokud již vlastně
Říkám, těm starým hrám se nevyplatí vracet, protože byste pak nedělali nic jiného, než hrali prostě jenom staré hry a tak dále a tak dále. Absolutně nevím. To se nemůže ani najít. To se dobře povídá. Já se zapomněl tu kontrolu. Každopádně, tak ono třeba teďka, kdyby vyšlo to muzeum, jo, říkám dobře. Když o tom muzeum, tak bych samozřejmě si to hned koupil, kdyby si to zahrál, protože ta hra bude super. Protože jako vás už vidět,
You're listening to Digging Deep.
ta čeština je vidět, že to není lepší. Ale ta čeština jakoby... Tak to není vůbec příklad. Je třeba zajímat, že to taky konal, to ten výrobce ještě naopak právě,
saying, but here goes. No climbing on bones, fossils, or other prehistoric memorabilia. Attention, the expedition team have returned. Good for them.
Ale říkám, vypadá to velice dobře. Právě nevím, nebo jestli třeba, když je lepší, že může dovědět nějakou lepší, nebo prostě veme nějakou auto, jestli to vlastně. Tady kvalita je kvalitní třeba pouze. To může dovážet prostě jakoby, když jste úroveň, už to můžete pracovat. Aha, maximální kvalita je skvělá. To je maximální. A dobra si kvalita, to je... Mně se líbí, jak je to dělané. Jako s tím dobře vyhrát, jo, jako si myslím, že tam má dobré procentí. Jo, úroveň. Tady píše úroveň 1, maximální kvalita. Jo. Ale je to blbě. A jestli se teda potom vyrestaurovat, tak by paní nechala určitě věc, to mě zase zajímalo. Zase dobře. Ale to tak to zajímalo.
Announcement. Stop. Medical attention. Thank you.
malý jako,
Expedition team returning from Bone Belt.
Neúplně exponáty, to je další. Neúplně exponáty, blablabla. Jasně. Takhle to funguje. Takže tam to bude asi konečné. Že prostě budete mít nějaký švédský kus. Tak možná nemusíte dostávat na něj, ale jakoby... No, všechny další věci, asi na průměrné kvalitě. Je to vlastně ale jako zajímavý. No, je to otázka, že to přišli.
Prehistoric items have been here for thousands of years. I know the feeling.
Imagine a place filled with things you could never afford. Wow! Countless, priceless artifacts from every corner of the world. Oh, locked away. Well, keep imagining. Oh, Jumbo Museum. The museum for big spenders.
Já nevím, že jsem tam nebyl, jestli to vydávají, až když budu kolektovat. Jo, tady to dítě. Já to
It should go without saying, but here goes. No climbing on bones, fossils, or other prehistoric memorabilia. Attention, the expedition team have returned. Good for them.
Ale taky možná dávám mě další rozdělat. Pět hlavních fúzí. Jo, to je historické. Dajte, to je akvarium. Prosto. No, jako to bylo dobře. Je dolů. Že to třeba má použít. To je dobrý, že na tom nemusíte více přemýšlet, protože musíme jít pohled tam. Tak. Następny należy Tomaszu szkóły ciszący na akademizacji akwaryjnych eksponatów. Na przykład podróżnik garantuje wiedzę i gwarantuję na miejscu akwaryjnym. Inny system przyniesie na przykład. Otázka si bude systému neuvěří. No, ono to asi přijde na vyšší, tam si půjde jako na vyšší v rámci vlastně jeho tak to tam počítá, tamhle takže a já jsem rád, že jsi to dneska čekal, jsem to pak dneska mi našel, že to byla vystaveně Laura. A jsem rád, že jsem to jakoby... Já jsem dostal rád, že jsem na to říkám, tam mám ale bude, také kraviny zjišťu, ale to je jako ne, to jdou nějaký. Máme umět, no, takže jako vypadá to dobrá, no. Máte popozní důvodce? Jo, se pak se tady říká nějaké. No, tak to je hlavou, no, máte osmičku tam vlastně, se má jezdíte vypadat tam, kdo vidí, nebo to bude, ale... Ale otázka, jestli třeba kampaň bude jenom po 5 růzí, ale budou se jednou doba tam více. Takže si to najdu do týmu, ale to nebude se znamená, že budu kam čekat. Jo, takže zároveň je možnost minimální teďko víc, jo, protože tam do politice, že to je, ale tam můžu když to je malý návrh. Já říkám, mám pocit, že to vyšlo 5. To znamená, že on tak zhruba byl 20 dní. je, že tohle, když jsem si říkal, že to mě mohlo bavit, protože tady tam moc teda není. Jako na budoucí. A já to se nejvyšení. to rád, ale to na tom si samou. Jako, ale to si to určitě mám, že kontroluje se než ty konkurence, takže už by tady přesně co dělat, ale to bylo si vidět tam aplikace, A to je právě to, co já říkám. Já jsem si recenzi, potom je dávám třeba ministerstvu důvod. Třeba mám to. Něco rád. Blablabla. Říkám, nepotřebuji kolem. Ano, vlastně, když to má takovou věci, tak tam je asi dobrá. On ten příklad tam taky naskočil dneska takové. Může se třeba stát, že nebo 60%, takže to testu tam jako moc není, jo. To je opravdu překládá, ale tam jsou lidi, které si dají přežít opravdu strašně rychle. Ale protože ty hry nemají dost tak opět. To vůbec to nemá. To je jako za to vlastně strašně moc, ale to nemá. Jestli zajímá, že vypadá, takže je tak původně zbavený. Původně zbavený. Jo, jako je tam nedělí kůzru, takže to kůže, no i když, záleží. Třeba teď to nemůžu. Tam se... No, tak to je taky spousta tady nedá. Ale asi, na tohle se jde chtěla no. Jak to? No, oni jsou tak nějaké samozřejmě chvíli, to nechápu, proč Bobo píše ten čas, který to není, ale tohle stavíte to, abyste tam stavili někdy dělají dělat. Ale já tak nedokážu pochopit, proč ty idioti, které toho prostě nevíte. Kdybyste měl zapauzovat, to je v pohodě, ale ty vole, prostě jakoby... Je to rozmanitý, ale to je to vypadá tam ty kvůli tady vlastně a já vlastně do toho vyčíslání sám, já bych se měl školu, která tady jenom protože to je určitě tak musíme vidět, že tam takové a nevím. Já si to takhle podívám prostě, nepotřebuji schválit matky. Znamená, že musím správně pokud dobře, je to nějaká variace náhodů. Jasně, tu věc můžu postavit s tím jmenem. Jasně. Vypadá jako, že asi můžu teoreticky z toho muzea, to na tom bude místa, budu třeba podvěstný, tak jestli zároveň si ho můžu dělat třeba akvaristicky. Stavba muzea je úplně jednoduchá. třeba určitě si zároveň radši to mám strašně než to Já jsem rád, že hlavně čeština chodníka, jo, to mě je prostě důležitý, že čeština říká, ale zatím je to
Esteemed guests, let's discover the very nature of discovery in 2 Point Museum, Exploring for Exhibits.
Rozumíte, ono je fajn, když třeba vole máte nějakou kulturu a prostě to prostě máte třeba obojí, lepší kolekci, nebo to prostě má rád. A tam jako i tam. Teď jsem si to Jo, takže jakoby... Jako vypadá to dobře. Vypadá to dobře. To, co jsem četl, to políbí hodně. Samozřejmě jakože já můžu samozřejmě udělat jednu věc, kterou mám třeba na nějakém druhu. Takže tam jsem se bál. No tak jako, to může být, ale já bych si třeba porovnal, že porovnal třeba
Dneska dám 130 kilo.
I Balgin Duo efekt. Bez bolesti je svět růžovější.
Hallo zusammen, herzlich willkommen zurück im Two-Point-Museum. Hier wird gerade ein Geist beruhigt, ein Polter...
No jasně, to jsem to měl našel na YouTube, jsem to vyhledal na tom, že někdo šel na tom budeme ale každopádně budu vypadat těším se na to určitě a jakmile na to jde to, jdeme poslát. Ideálně by bylo třeba vypadat se na třeba, jo, protože tím, že máte 5 rozličných vlastní vlastně jako pokažu úplně něco jiného. A jenom všechno by dohromady. No jo, už je dobře, protože jste 2-3 baráky, pak jste si udělali jeden barák a přišli na Adam, všechno Já, můžu říct, že to vlastně koupil jsem tady takový vlastně tak to taky občas vyšpí, jo, jestli třeba chcete někdy takhle párá, teda ty vyšpí,
Zvládnete to.
Jste připraveni? Nechte nás bojovat s únavou! Díky vitamínům skupiny B a spoustě vitamínu C! Nový Supradin Energy Gummies obsahuje 10 vitamínů, které vás postaví na nohy. Nastartujte svou energii.
Hello and welcome to 2 Points Museum. I am so excited for this game. So we're gonna jump in. We know what these 2-point games are about, and I'm so excited to run my own museum. Very, very excited. Thanks to Sega for the early code, and let's jump in. There you go. It's a better ball, isn't it? No. Place info stands. Maybe very dry. Right, where do we want this to go? I reckon here's quite a good spot, right? Talking. No? Excellent looking around. Well done. Already leaps and bounds ahead of your predecessor. Speaking of, the old creator sent an expedition before they skipped town and disappeared forever. So it looks like they've left an unopened exhibit. Ooh. Where exactly is that? New exhibits arrive at the museum packaged in crates, ready to be unboxed. All crates look the same, but I can tell this is a good one. Select the crate and see what's inside. Looks pretty big. Here we go. Oh, it's a map. This is a good one. Select the crate and see what's inside. Looks pretty big. Here we go. Oh, it's a massive footprint.
สวัสดีครับเพื่อนๆผมเพลงคาเซอร์นะครับวันนี้ผมจะพาเพื่อนๆมาเล่นเกม2 Point Museum กันครับเกมนี้เนี่ยเป็นเกมสร้างพิพิธภัณฑ์ที่เขาจะให้เราตกแต่งจัดวางแผนพิพิธภัณฑ์นะครับให้นักท่องเที่ยวเข้ามาเที่ยวชมแล้วก็ให้ส่งพนักงานของเราเนี่ยออกไปขุดค้นหาวัตถุเพิ่มเติมนะครับที่จะเอามาแสดงโชว์นะครับก็อันนี้เป็นภารกิจแรกนะครับก่อนหน้านี้เนี่ยเขาให้เราลองวางรอยเท้าอันนี้ลงไปนะครับแล้วก็ให้เราจ้างคนนี้นะครับเป็นแปลสิ่งของต่างๆในพิพิธภัณฑ์ให้เราให้ดูใหม่อยู่เสมอนะครับโอเคเสร็จแล้วก็พอเราวางนิทรรศการแล้วเนี่ยนิทรรศการแต่ละอันเนี่ยเขาก็จะให้เราวางป้ายข้อมูลนะครับก็คือเหมือนใน
Am I doing this correct?
Any plans for a special yacht schedule? The problem is, Yachts Day this year is right in the middle of the week on a Wednesday, which is super inconvenient. super inconvenient. So I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do on Yacht Day 2nd of April. Don't know. Anyway, I've got a new t-shirt. We've got a Yachts 11 t-shirt. So I'll show you that shortly.
Yeah, but guys. Wir brauchen die noch 2 Stück. Hallo YouTube, ich streame gerade auf Twitch.
Alright, good morning. Today I'm checking out 2 Point Museum. It's a new game that just came out in the style.
And you're listening to Digging Deeper, where we cover everything from archaeology, science, the unexplained, and vanishing curators. Yes, that's the story of the curator, now ex-curator, of the 2 Point Museum, who fled the scene of the struggling institution, never to be seen again. Their disappearance was first discovered by a journalist from 2 Point Radio, hoping to discuss the museum's record low attendance and reports of rampant looting. In a strange way, I feel I got my answer.
And it looks like they've left an unopened exhibit. New exhibits arrive at the museum packaged in crates, ready to be unboxed. All crates look the same, but I can tell this is a good one. Select the crate and see what's inside. Alright, that's a crate. Greasy fields. Progress, no days. Let's just open it. Right footprint fossil. We're looking for a giant shoeless culprit. And apparently that's an epic.
Drzwi takie lubię, ale wiesz, Jo, ale on se staví, ten si vlastně snad bol, ale já si myslím, že při tom golu to bude asi stejný, že to vlastně nebude moc ale si jim to už to vyjde a dá to může náhodí. Teďka to právě. To ohodnotit, ale nevíš. To je stav vůdní, tak to bude. Jo, ale teď to zvednou, protože já jsem to se potom šíká, tady tak má to sebe volené a
exhibits arrive at the museum packaged in crates, ready to be unboxed. All crates look the same, but I can tell this is a good one. Select the crate and see what's inside. So, you can see in the upper right-hand corner is our list of things that the game wants us to do. So, crate minds is our current thing. It's just opening the crate and spending the exhibit. Now, this first museum for a while is going to be tutorial, so there'll be a lot more reading in this episode than the ongoing episode. So once we learn how to do things, we don't have to read. Okay, so open the crate. Looks like it was from recent field. Love this little animation. Loot box. Here we've got a white footprint fossil. We're looking for a giant shoeless opal. It's epic quality. 1 out of 3 knowledge and 10 dogs. It's worth $3,000.
Can learn about. There you remember pressing the open. Improved trainers. This I am supreme. Make a couple of bins.
Just something
he's done. They're coming home anyway.
Epic.
On the helicopter. We're going to show off a brand new exhibit.
Plate that shows us the front.
Is it back yet? Hey!
Also shows that it's epic. So if you get one that's not epic,
open the crate.
Color there will be whatever.
Right, what is it?
The exhibit is.
Oh, looks like Jennifer's got injured.
So this needs to be near a fossil. Set it up for us to do, so I'm going to do that.
Přelaďte na zářivější a barevnější obraz díky Evopanelu televize LG. Datart.
Když nás trápí bolest nebo horečka, jsou tu vždycky pro nás. Mámy věří paralenu.
Can't be that risky.
As you can see, exhibits will get grubby over time, losing the buzz. Museums rely on experts' restoration skills to keep exhibits presentable, and the guests saying, "Whoa, look at that!" If left forgotten, abandoned, and entirely uncared for, exhibits will become unpresentable like people. As you play the game, you're going to unlock things that you need to watch this stuff. But that's cans are emptied regularly, especially along this wall. And if I do, that stand will work then. And it's a location. And there's usually some sort of rewards, and this tells us we've got three fossils that we can discover. his activities. If you're watching him, you'll see it show up. But while he's exploring, let's go ahead and do what... I might, if it lets me in a bit, I might kind of block off this little... With Lucy Fields, we gained 15% survey, and poor Gaston got an injury with Chris Murphy, which is the car that he's putting contributing to it. And see how it doesn't just say one anymore? Contributing to it. And see how it... Other. Poor Gaston got an injury with Chris Murphy, which is the car that he's putting Okay, he brought us the honeybee, a giant bee, ironically preserved in giant honey. The level of it is great. So far we've seen the exhibits that we already had were average. This one, which is gray. This one is gray, which is blue. We've seen epic, which is purple. And then the final one is pristine, which is kind of a goldy yellow. Now this first museum for a while is going to be tutorial, so there'll be a lot more reading in this episode than ongoing episode. So once we learn how to do things, we don't have to read them. Okay, so we're going to open the crate. Looks like it was from Lucy Fields. This little animation is loot box. We've got a white footprint.
Point Museum. Trowel and yawn vanishing now. Their disappearance was
Content related. Welcome to the museum. It's not in great condition, but with a little guidance, it could become one of the best museums in the community, or even the entire world. Sorry, before I get any more carried away, why don't you have a look around? Familiarize yourself with the museum and the performers. Excellent looking around. Well done. Already leaps and bounds ahead of your predecessor. Speaking of, the old curators sent on an expedition before they skipped town and disappeared forever. And it looks like they're dropping on opening the exhibit. New exhibits arrive at the museum packaged in crates, ready to be unboxed. All crates look the same, but I can tell this is a crate. Select the crate and see what's inside. See in the upper right hand corner is our list of things that the game wants us to do. So the crate mind is open, and it's just opening the crate and spraying a new exhibit. Now this first museum for a while is going to be tutorial, so there'll be a lot more reading in this episode than ongoing episodes. So once we learn how to do things, we don't have to read that. Okay, so open the crate. Looks like it was from Lucy Fields. This little animation is the loot box. We've got a white footprint faucet. We're looking for giant shields perfect. It's epic quality. 1 out of 3 knowledge and 10 cards. It's worth 3,000. It's a prehistory theme with a subcategory of faucets. Requirements are that needs to be tried and just something cool that they've got here. You see how it's epic? The description here? The fossil itself, so that we need the front, I guess, the plate that shows us the front of the exhibit also shows that it's epic. So if you get one that's not epic, the color there will be whatever the exhibit is. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so This needs to be near a fossil viewpoint to get the bells going. The base bells. And they've set it up for us to put it here, so I'm going to do that. Just for tutorial purposes, I'm going to kind of follow along with what I want. Look at that. Perfect. Something nice and old to go to the museum's modest prehistory collection. And what? That's now the museum's most impressive exhibit. The higher an exhibit's bells, the more it will amaze our guests. But as you can see, the exhibits will get grubby over time, losing the bells. Museums rely on experts' restoration skills to keep exhibits presentable, and the guests say, "Whoa, look at that!" Left forgotten, abandoned, and entirely uncared for, exhibits will become unpresentable and these two, losing all their bells, by a prehistory expert to restore the new collection. So this is what I was talking about. This one doesn't have any bells. And that's because it's in such bad condition. But see, the nameplate is gray. That means this is an average quality exhibit, as opposed to this purple one, which is epic. So it's a nice way to be able to kind of see it at a glance, instead of having to go into the exhibit to see what it is. Okay, if left forgotten, oh, I already read that. Let's hire us our expert. Okay, for the tutorial, they're going to be nice and show us where they want us to go. So we're going to go down here. Our prehistory exhibit.
I'm sure you'll need it.
Restore our two exhibits. See who we got. In for which he has a nice tiny face, which includes her immediately or we have her Tisha names, who's gluttonous, and therefore their hunger develops. There's the problem in the breaks. Analytical improves their exhibit analysis. I'm going to kind of flash this one because I don't like the buttons. Let's see what Gaston Chinwag has. He's got Globetrotter, which is a good one for people that you want to send out on an expedition. So I think I'm going to hire Gaston. No, actually, go ahead and tell me to do this. I'm going to do it here. Since she's got a nice smiling face, I'm going to go ahead and hire Emmy too, so she can hold down the restoration of exhibits when you need to send over. That's done out. Expeditions. Good, they're good. Free information. Ah, that's better. Restoring the exhibits will keep them looking first rate and maintain the museum's buzz. However, providing the spectacle will only take you so far. Our guests want to be informed as well as impressed. Info stands build all our knowledge of nearby exhibits and present to guests in one digestible place. Place info stands near exhibits so guests can learn about what they're seeing. They want us to place 2 information stands. So, nice feature of this. As you can see, the information stands do information, so they've got the light bar symbol. But you can also see, before you place it, which exhibits are contributing to the info stand. And if the tutorial didn't want me to place 2, I'd probably put it here so I got all 3. But I need to place 2 anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put one on this side, place 2. The other one on the opposite side. Squeeze them. You notice that it switched the picture. There's 2 or 3 different ones on the info stands, and it'll pick up whatever kind of exhibit you're showing, which is cool. Smart stuff. You're feeling wider already. Now that you have a basic understanding of buzz and knowledge, you're almost ready to reopen the museum. Before you do, there's one last thing. Get the pearl more. Get the yell that will amaze our guests. It's to her happiness. I don't think necessarily have less happiness if she doesn't go, she just won't get the groups, right? So I think we're going to go ahead and take her and let her be our picket. And I think I'm going to have her stay there, so I'm going to select her. I'm going to scroll over to the fourth tab, which is job assignments, and I'm going to have her only do ticket.
Jo, asi je... Aby jsou značeny. Vlastně máte 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Historicky takových těch různých kliků máte 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is our the sad face on the right. Max quality at the moment is great. You can see we haven't done any explorations there yet. Now, you can increase your survey level faster by using... So for now, we're going to go deep into this back. But for now, let's... They're exploring. If anything happens along the way, any of those activities, if you're watching there, you'll see it show up. But while he's exploring, let's go ahead and do what we were going to do here, decoration. Oh, look, stepped in car. So he got nothing to eat, he stepped in car. So that'll be something we need to deal with when we get back. When he gets back. But for now, let's place this. Let's see the pop-ups. Now, this is preserved history, so it's still prehistory, but it's not a fossil like these are. So I'm going to put it right next to the back. But for now, let's place this. Let's see the pop-ups. Now, this is preserved history, so it's still prehistory, but it's not a fossil like these are. So I'm going to put it right next to them. I think I'm going to come in with a little camera over here. Poor guy's got an injury with this one. It's the car that he's putting on his own. What did he bring us? Okay, he brought us the honey bee, a giant bee, ironically preserved in giant honey. The level of it is its gray. So far we've seen the exhibits that we already had were average. This one, which is gray. This one is gray, which is blue. We've seen epic size is black. Let's be sure we put a waste box. I think that for our decoration up to 2. See, if we go over to the right one, that's our decoration stuff. Right now, we just have to and we will get more items later. Let's put that in there, see if we can get updated a little bit. But, if you notice this exclamation, it's not a good spot. It's kind of blocking. So we'll just leave it out there. You can see that PlayStation is not enough of it. Control. Some cargo items that do those kind of things, and we'll just see those as we get to them. But for now, you can see that the X. As I can. See, right now I don't even have this at all. Let's see, 0. Yeah, see, I didn't do any decorating. Let's see what they want. History decoration. And that one, which is the amber one, which is what this guy wants. So, let's do some decorating over here. Just and let's do some of the other stuff. Let's see what we can do. This is... Well, some of them are kind of liking it. 2.5 out of 5, so that's halfway. Put it over here. Just because of... A higher museum level means... Okay, this one's also... Getting more exhibit. And you can see we've got a lot more of these that we're working on, so that's kind of cool. Big bear. I want to check how the game salary was. When you train them up as they level, they start to want more pay, which makes sense. Okay, so we are going to meet all the pay requests, and then I'm going to give everybody a 1% raise, just because we're a small enough staff now. If I can hurt me to do that. She just goes. So I'm not as much worried about getting the survey level up as high, so I'm not going to do detail. I'm just going to let it go safe. Actually, it didn't look like it gave me that option. I never really looked at that before. So he's acquired a new trait, which is toilet error. That works. That way, I can use this way. So those two don't look quite so good. Back this up a little bit. Still got the decoration bubbles. Nice, okay, so those are good. Now these lines I can put. Yeah. So going to add a bin back here just because there's some trash in the corridor. So what we need to do. Although this is not really symmetrical anymore. Doesn't really be room for an exhibit there. I kind of like the idea of it there. And maybe if I get another one, and then maybe that will become symmetrical if I get another cross that gets that shape for there. We'll do that. Okay. I think that we will call that an end to this episode, and we'll go ahead and let this record close. And that was from completing deer in upon her using. So we will call that the end for today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, like the video. We're going to be doing a lot of 2-point museum. So we're going to play this. It's going to be slow and casual like it was today. We're not going to speed through it. We're going to take our time and just kind of have fun with it. So hope you have a wonderful day.